What's good, people? Thanks as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, let's talk Diilian Whyte for a few minutes. I was one of those people, and I think I made a couple of videos about it, saying that Diilian Whyte should have, 110%, should have took the AJ fight. We know that the offer was around £4 to £5 million now. Diilian Whyte's confirmed this. I think Eddie Hearn's confirmed this a couple of times as well. And that the big stumbling block was the clause, if it ever went to a rematch, the clause in the rematch contract, which was that AJ would get the lion's share of the money in the rematch. I didn't ever think there would be a rematch. I did think that AJ would have beaten Diilian Whyte again, but that was the big problem. So that was the main reason Diilian Whyte didn't take the offer to fight AJ in front of 90,000 people at Wembley. That was the main reason that Diilian Whyte didn't take $5 million, which was an offer at the time. And that was the main reason that Diilian Whyte didn't give himself the opportunity to fight for 4, and I'm including the IBO in this one, 4 world titles. Whoever advised him not to do this, for whatever reason, needs sacking. And I'm sure it's not just Diilian Whyte. I don't think his brother's his manager. I do think there are other people behind him. But whoever advised him not to take this opportunity really does need to look at themselves. Because fighting in front of 90,000 people at Wembley doesn't just come around the corner every other week. Fighting for 4 world titles, again, doesn't come around the corner every other week. And telling you now, and I'm telling you this for a fact, getting an offer of a £5 million, not dollars, £5 million paycheck doesn't come around every often. So I think he made a big mistake in not accepting the offer. But at the time of not accepting, on the table was the opportunity to fight Dominic Breazeale for a final eliminator for Deontay Wilder's WBC belt. That was going to be chucked on pay-per-view. They were talking about doing it the week after AJ was supposed to fight at Wembley. So they were talking about April the 20th, a good undercard as well. We're hearing about the likes of, I don't know, it was Carlos Takam versus Michael Hunter, Derek Chisora versus Parker, Lucas Brown versus Dave Allen. So that would have been a good pay-per-view. That would have done good numbers. And he might not have got £5 million, but it would have got maybe half that, right? It would have been at the O2 Arena. So look, it's a slimmed down version for what he would have done against AJ, but regardless, that looked like a good option, Dominic Breazeale. Not anymore. Not anymore. That option looks like it's gone as well. Remember, Tyson Fury was supposed to fight Deontay Wilder. That was like done. It was happening, no problem whatsoever. Obviously, Tyson Fury has now signed that deal with ESPN, and it doesn't look like Deontay Wilder is willing to go and fight on ESPN, which makes sense. He's a Showtime fighter, and Tyson Fury is not going to fight on Showtime. So that looks done. So Deontay Wilder now looks like he will fight Dominic Breazeale, who was supposed to fight Diilian Whyte. That's a mandated fight. Diilian Whyte was mandated to fight Dominic Breazeale for a final eliminator. Dominic Breazeale obviously is going to want the Deontay Wilder fight. Why would he not want that? Diilian Whyte is now obviously upset for some reason with Dominic Breazeale for wanting the Deontay Wilder fight, saying, look, we were ordered to fight. I think he said things like, don't be a pussy. I don't think Dominic Breazeale's being a pussy, but if you're Dominic Breazeale, A, you don't really want to travel if you don't have to, and he's got a second chance to become world champion. Obviously, he had the first chance fighting Anthony Joshua for the IBF belt. Now he's got a chance to fight Deontay Wilder, a fight he really thinks he can win. That's all well and good for him. What about Diilian Whyte? Diilian Whyte was supposed to fight pay-per-view, either against Joshua, turned down, Breazeale he thought was guaranteed. What's he doing now? Answer on a postcard, who's out there for him to fight? Looks like Povetkin's going to fight Usyk. 2 good options there, gone. Just beat Parker, gone. Just beat Chisora, gone. Tyson Fury's not fighting him in his first time fight at ESPN. Absolutely not. Luis Ortiz is fighting Christian Hamer. Joe Joyce's fight. What's going on with Diilian Whyte? This is why I think you don't turn down big fights that are on the table. I don't know why boxers do this. Boxers do this assuming that everything is guaranteed, and it's not. If 5 million, and this is what we're led to believe, if 5 million was on the table to fight Joshua, you take it. You take it. You don't, and especially boxing, because you never know what can happen in boxing. You don't predict that, don't worry, because in 2 or 3 fights, I'll be fighting for a world title around 7 or 8 million. This is boxing. No way. It reminds me of those, I see these weird memes, or I don't know if a meme's the right word for it, but people put things on Instagram saying stuff like, would you take 1 million in cash or a book that teaches you how to make 2 million? Give me the fucking million right now. I'm not about reading a book trying to work out how to earn 2 when someone's offered to put 1 million in my bank account right now. And this is it with Diilian Whyte. There was a big offer. You take it. Because right now it looks like you're in a position where, and this is all ifs and buts and maybes, but if Anthony Joshua beats Jarrell Miller, and he will beat Jarrell Miller, and Deontay Wilder beats Dominic Breazeale, and he will beat Dominic Breazeale, what fight's going to happen next? What fight do you think is going to be made or pushed to happen next? AJ versus Wilder all day long. AJ's profile is going to go through the roof when he beats Miller in America, so the fight just becomes bigger. Then what? I'll tell you what, Diilian Whyte has to then sit on the shelf for another 6 or 7 months. Boy, I think he's sitting there now regretting not taking the Joshua fight. He really is, because I think he definitely thought Dominic Breazeale was guaranteed. And like I always say, nothing is guaranteed in boxing. And I think Diilian Whyte is starting to learn that the hard way.